In this chapter, we're going to be learning about the importance of language and why language is so important in our everyday lives and why the words that we say matter so much. So first, let's talk about some of the basic functions of language. To define language, we say that language is any formal system of gestures, signs, sounds, and symbols that are used or conceived of as a means of communicating thought. And in the world, there are over 6,000 different languages. And the most commonly spoken language is actually Mandarin. And some of the others most commonly spoken include English, Spanish, and Arabic. And language is really the primary means that we have to communicate thought with one another. And it helps us to build our relationships with one another. It helps us build interpersonal relationships. It helps us build our home relationships with our families and our significant others, romantic relationships, those sorts of things. Now, when it comes to language, there's a lot of different types of meaning that words can have. The first of these different meanings are the denotative meanings, otherwise known as the dictionary definition of a word. So this is the definition that you get when you look up the word in the dictionary. It's like the literal definition. On the other hand, the connotative meaning is the idea that is suggested by the word or that's associated with the word. So this is less of the dictionary definition and it's more of your own definition. So for example, if I were to look up the word cat in the dictionary would tell me that a cat is a small, hairy feline with retractile claws and that they are carnivorous and all of these different types of things, right? They give you kind of the literal definition of the word cat. But when I said the word cat, you thought of a specific cat. Maybe it was Garfield. Maybe it was Tom from Tom and Jerry. Maybe it was your own cat. This is my cat, for example. This is what I think of when I think of the word cat, right? I think of my little kitty, Minnie. And so this is the idea that's suggested by the word cat for me, right? Connotative meanings are very innate to the person. That's what the word means to us. And this is where language can get a little bit tricky, right? Because for the most part, with denotative meanings, those are the same for all of us. And yes, some words have multiple different denotative meanings that can cause some confusion, but generally speaking, with context, we can figure things out pretty quickly. But with connotative meanings, we might have completely different ideas of what a cat is. Maybe I think of my cat Minnie, but you were thinking of a tiger. And so those are two completely different ideas that can be represented by this same word. So we have to be careful with our connotations because our audience might have different connotations for the words that we're using. And that can very easily cause misunderstanding when it comes to delivering the message in your speech. So you have to make sure that either your audience uses the same connotations as you, or that you are so clear about your connotation of this word that your audience can't help but understand.